It's no secret that the D.I. Hire train wreck of a film, Sinners, has been a thorn in my side since April in the year after drinking 2025. Despite being a cure for insomnia, the little film kept trying to worm its way into popular culture in an effort to gain some relevance, but with little success. Then came the BAFTAs. Because one man exercised his right to freedom of speech, the people involved with Sinners quickly play the victim card, which is common for
the blacks.
I mean, just look at this volatile, inappropriate response from Delroy Lindo and Michael Plan B. Jordan. Be warned, dear viewer, as you may find the following footage disturbing. The audacity. Obviously, because we live in the age of the Walking Dead, John Davidson knew he'd be immediately cancelled for uttering that word, but he seems to be a quick thinker, cause what he did next was pretty impressive. Strap in, dear viewer, as we look at the greatest scam in modern history. John Davidson is the inspiration for a film called I Swear. It tells the story of a young Scottish man who's so fed up with living under the yoke of political correctness that he fabricated imaginary conditions that would allow him to speak his mind.
Impulsive comments, he neither means them or can control them. Sexist, homophobic, misogynist.
Don't forget racist, you wanker.
Based on personal experience, I can assure you he is well versed in all manner of racist comments, many of which not even I have encountered.
Despite the subject matter, the woke movement still had to add elements appealing to the agenda. This is Scotland, but several characters are Arab, highlighting the country's immigration issues.
Helicopter, helicopter.
It's also quite anachronistic. This is 1983, but Dad allows Mom to voice her opinion. Mom, who like most of the women in this film, is a feminist. Why does she have a say in making decisions? When John's an adult, she's still asking his questions for him.
No, he can't drink, Murray. He's on medication.
Here I am, minding my own business, and someone thinks it's funny to throw a book at me.
Why is the other mom coming along on the date? It's obvious she's poisoning her daughter's mind with this same propaganda because she gets upset at John for making a simple request.
Suck for it! I'm sorry.
Well, she's not going to be a trad wife. Notice that mom had no problem with them seeing a movie where a bloke dresses up like a woman. Obviously catering to the LGBTQ+, up, down, left, right, start, select community.
Yes.
But they knew they couldn't keep up this facade for long because Dad gets upset and starts sounding more like my dad. Fed up with all the lip Mum's giving him, Dad heads for greener pastures and becomes a regular at the pub. He's probably got his own YouTube channel these days where he routinely puts out content. John is determined to ride this thing all the way till the wheels fall off. The school's headmaster even gives him a chance to admit this is all a sham, like body dysmorphia, bulimia, or a good film with black characters. I admire his dedication though. After 13 years, he's still keeping up the bit. His situation starts to improve with the arrival of a strong female character who gets him to talk about his feelings. We see John get in fights with other straight white Scottish males when he would definitely throw down with some of those illegal immigrants. He even gets in trouble with the constables on multiple occasions. That's why there's all that illegal immigrant crime. They're too busy chasing after the straight white males. Over the course of the film, people who John runs into are encouraged to be more understanding of his condition, to make efforts towards helping him function in society by being more accommodating. And you know what? I have a creeping suspicion this film was written by
the Latinos,
because we're expected to ignore his text, adjust our language as to not trigger him, and teach our children about these alleged conditions, so that John and people like him can look forward to a society where they're not ostracized. Which is the same as Mexicans like Bad Bunny coming to America and demanding that signage be posted in Spanish as well as English. To which I have to go full Isildur.
No.
Why would I adjust my worldview, adopt an open-minded stance towards serious medical conditions, just so that someone can have a normal life? So that they can walk into a library without being terrified? So they can stand outside a store without fear of being assaulted because someone misinterpreted one of their texts as hostility? What about my rights? What about my freedom? Next they'll be asking me to sort my waste for the betterment of society. What's wrong with putting people like him together in one area so they don't bother anyone? If his swearing is such a problem, why not just keep him away from award shows, even if he is the source of a nominated film? John does a bit of blackface and a lot of things are starting to make sense. Then we circle back to the BAFTAs, where it becomes clear what the whole point of the scheme was. To say the N-word and get away with that.
So I can see it.
Wow, John. Well done. Makes me wish I thought of it before.
If that guy doesn't get a BAFTA, I don't know.
It reminds me of that scene from Dumb and Dumber 2, where Lloyd pretends to be catatonic for 20 years just to take the piss on his friend Harry.
God, yeah!
Because only straight white males have the focus and fortitude for such decades-long dedication. Now, we could take away the message that it doesn't take as much as you think to accommodate someone's condition, that we shouldn't be quick to make assumptions and cast judgment on someone dealing with an issue we admittedly know nothing about, that we can be outraged about a controversial event, but at the same time take a measured approach that will allow us to tackle the problem where it's most crucial by admitting that while Davison did nothing wrong, Lindo and Jordan will still put in an uncomfortable position that the producers failed to handle properly. But it's easier to just make poorly researched videos with rage bait thumbnails and cash in on that sweet, sweet YouTube money. Like my former ally nerd Rotek, who is in such a rush to release a video on that matter, he doesn't realize he contradicts himself.
So to super virtue signal, they decided to let this guy be in the audience.
A few moments later.
The man has a condition. He can't help it.
This is awkward.
Ah, nerd Rotek, I miss you, my fellow Nazi.
What up, my Nazi?
So yeah, they're just words. People give power to words.
People have given that word power. That word has a lot of power because people give it power. Words don't have power unless they give them power.
Just don't say anything to offend me or I'll clock ya. The film, I swear, set out to inspire people, and you know what? It's done just that. Stay tuned for my own documentary entitled I Drink, a moving tale about my alcohol-based condition that causes me to say things I don't really mean. Like, why can't Brie Larson just stay in the kitchen? We'll call it alcoholislalia. Boozed banter, if you will. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go medicate by watching Melania again.
Here we go again.
Ah, Melania. You could cure any condition. Alright, story's over. Get out.